If you go on that stream, funny enough, I used doggy icons when I didn't even know doggy existed. Like, I didn't even know. And my hardest was like an entry in Zing Demon. So that's a pretty big jump if you think about it. Believe me, I think I almost had a 10th world record. That kind of gave me the skill to play like actual dog and like get through it. It doesn't have.
Are you able to kind of talk us through like your jump dash journey and kind of how exactly you became the extremely skilled player that you are today?
I was initially I beat all of the Rob Top levels, so I didn't go into any online levels until I beat every single Rob Top level. So yeah, when I beat all of them on my phone, I decided, okay, I'm done with the main game. It's time to play the online levels because I thought that's how you're supposed to do it, but I guess people don't really do that. But yeah, I kind of went like that. The first demon I ever beat that wasn't a Rob Top level was Problematic by, I don't know who made it, but it's the green 9 circles.
Yeah,
level.
I think it's Dolphin.
But I beat that. I beat it on stream. It's still on my channel from 4 years ago. You can
Really?
go on it if you want. And then the next stream, it was beating X-Step V2. That was the next demon I beat. It was a 3-minute stream. I beat that really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah, I don't know why it's still up. I streamed for 3 minutes. I beat it in like a few attempts, and then I just ended stream. I thought I had like the skill to go for Future Funk, so I just kind of tried to do it, but it was way too hard. I got 67, which is like the middle of the duel. And I never beat it. I still have 67 on Future Funk, so I just moved on. But then I was like, okay, this is way too like hard of a level, so I just went for my first hard demon. I went to 9 circles. So that was my first hard demon. It took me 3 hours to beat rough. If you go on that stream, funny enough, I used doggy icons when I didn't even know doggy existed. Like, I didn't even know who doggy was, but I was just using his icons because I thought they were cool colors. So if it went like that, I could have just used doggy icons without even knowing how to hit them. I could have had the same icons as him. Probably really shortly after that, I went for Jawbreak. I thought that was super easy at first. I thought it was like easier than 9 circles, and I got like 80% in like less than like 30 minutes. And I have no idea whether Jawbreaker or 9 circles is harder, and it seems that people are still debating that. So I don't even know if 9 circles or Jawbreaker was my hardest at the time.
It's definitely 9 circles, without a doubt.
Yeah. But then after that, I kind of like I don't even know what I was doing with the game. I was kind of like at like a stalemate with the game. So I wanted to jump to Black Blizzard from Jawbreaker, which was like the first time I ever like touched jumping to a level, because funny enough, that's around when Space UK was kind of like starting to like invent the concept of jumping to a hard level from an easier one. The best I got was 40 to 100, and I think it was like 5,000, 10,000 attempts, something like that. Early 2021 comes around. I beat Poltergeist as my first insane demon. My friend told me about the challenge list, so I got like invested in how the challenge list was. Actually, before that, in like December of 2020, Delusion by Electro got verified by Zamasu. I played it, and it was really hard. It was the top 1 challenge, so I didn't really know how to play it. I think I got like 16% on it. I was even talking to Cursed. I really wanted to beat Delusion. He told me to do D by Bow first, so I went to go play D by Bow. It's like an easier version of Delusion. It was a top 20 challenge at the time. I played it for I think around 20,000 attempts. After that, I kind of stopped playing D because I couldn't really get any progress. I eventually tried to play Sonic Wave. My friend told me on the first night of playing it, I did 64 to 100. Then after that, the day after, I did drop to 100, which was crazy. It was a massive fluke. I was actually playing Sonic Wave when I was like in like the COVID classes with like the Zoom meetings and stuff. I just muted my mic and I just played Sonic Wave in the class. And then I got, eventually I got list percent. It was 56 on Sonic Wave. That was my first list points. It was actually, it's harder than Black Blizzard. It was 42 on the list at the time when I was playing it. And my hardest was like an entry in Zing Demon. So that's a pretty big jump if you think about it. And then I kept playing, got 67. I was stuck at 67 for a while. And then after like a few weeks or so, I got 92, flew from 67. And then that's when I kind of was like, yeah, I can beat this. I can beat my first extreme demon. I got 93. And then like a few days after, I beat it, and that was my first extreme big milestone for me. It was a pretty crazy feeling because like no one at the time really jumped to Sonic Wave from something that easy, so it was a massive achievement. I had like no subs at the time. I had like 20 subs, so no one knew who I was. Here's where stuff kind of gets like it escalates a little, like a lot. So I went to Arctic Lights. That was the first time I really tried to beat something that was a new hardest at the time that wasn't Sonic Wave. So I beat Arctic Lights. Arctic Lights was like insane. It was top 30. No one believed me. I think I almost had a tempt world record. I think I might have had a tempt world record. I'm not sure. For something being my third extreme demon or something like that, that was kind of crazy. It was top 30. And that was a hard level at the time. After Arctic Lights, that is like when I kind of just like sat back a little and didn't really play anything. But I was watching Firework get verified by Trick. I found it really interesting, so I kept asking him for a copy to play it. He eventually gave me a copy. Eventually, Firework gets verified. Kind of like, I didn't think I could beat it at the time, because obviously my hardest was like an Arctic Lights. So I just kept playing Firework. Eventually I got 41, which was crazy at the time, because there were like no people who had list percent at the time. And I almost had list percent. After that, a few days after, I get 54. I think I was like the 4th or 5th person to ever get list percent. It was the top 1 demon at the time. It was top 1. It was harder than, not harder than Slaughterhouse, but it was before Slaughterhouse was verified. Since Space hacked it, but it was placed at number 2. Eventually, I got 62 and 71 in like mid-December. So that's around when Slaughterhouse was verified for real. My last best while Firework was a top 1 demon was 71%. Because I didn't know it at the time, but Slaughterhouse was hacked and Doggy beat it in the end of December. I was stuck at 71 for a while. It was like a month. And I eventually broke that barrier. I got to 76. 92 was like the night before I beat it. It was the craziest. I got to like the ending like 10 times in one session as like after getting it as a best for the first time.
I think you're like your mic switched.
Oh yeah, it unplugged. Dude,
it went from like good microphone and then like Android like.
I thought bro took a dip in the pool real quick.
After that, I got 92, and then I beat it around 2 weeks after that. Or no, not 2 weeks. 92 and beating it was like less than 24 hours apart. It was insane. It was a top 3, so it was after Sukuban Circles was also verified. That was no one really saw that at the time, but I jumped from Arctic Lights to Firework as my 5th extreme demon, and that's like harder than most people's hardest. And I don't know. It took 100,000 attempts, so. It was like more than 3 times more attempts than I've ever taken on any level ever. I thought that would be my peak. I didn't think I would do anything harder. I went to Sukuban Circles. This is another big journey. It was my biggest journey at that point. Sukuban Circles was top 1 at the time. I got 66p to 100. Oh wait, I kind of like skimmed over it, but though as you can see, those like rainbow videos, the RGB videos, those videos, I just uploaded them for fun, but they blew up for no reason. And that's where I got like my first like kick in popularity. I went from like 400 subs to 2,000 in under a day. And then eventually after that, I got 67 on Sukuban Circles. So I was one of the first people to get to the doubles from 0. And that felt kind of crazy because I only started Sukuban Circles like a few weeks before I got that. It took 20,000 attempts. I got there pretty fast, so I felt pretty confident. Right after that, Slaughterhouse gets moved above Sukuban Circles, and that kind of crushed me because I thought I could have fulfilled my goal of beating a number 1 demon. It got moved to 2, and I got really upset. So I was like, okay, I might drop it. There's no point of playing it now. It's number 2. What's the point of even going through the struggle? Then I'm like, I kind of put it in my mind that eventually it would get moved back because I don't know. I was weird. I was convinced that Sukuban Circles would eventually move back up. And I still wanted to move up above Slaughterhouse, even though I've beaten both now. I still believe Sukuban is harder than Slaughterhouse. After that big moment, I got given the verification to Ascension to Heaven. Yeah, so I had been a big fan of the level for a few months at that point. I helped playtest and everything. I was in the server and stuff where progress was being made. And then the creators just asked me if I could run like high detail stuff. And I said yes. And they just gave me the level to verify. It was a top 1 demon at the time. It was meant to top Slaughterhouse, but now the level still isn't done. And Tidal Wave is number 1. So the difficulty has like exponentially had to increase over the years. After that, I just kind of did random stuff. I got given the verification of Walter White. I didn't beat it because it was not fun. I didn't like it, but I wish I could have verified it. It would have been my first verification. After that, I kind of started to get into list demons more. I beat Kororetta. And then after that, I beat Truefet. So finally, I beat that after a few months. It didn't take that long. And then I kind of went on a roll. I beat Thinking Space right after that, not too long after. So this is kind of where summer started. I tried to beat Arcturus. I got it in 2 runs, didn't beat it. I still have not beaten it, but maybe one day. I went back to Seguin Circles, so I dropped it for a few months because the level was way too hard. I got 68 after trying really hard, so that was a new best after like 4 or 5 months. I beat a couple of challenges. Now we're going a bit faster. And then after that, I finally beat Delusion, which was like a big highlight because that level, I've been looking at it since late 2020 and I beat it in August of 2022. That level was crazy. It was so hard. I even like viewed it as harder than True with that. So that level was crazy. I did not expect for myself to do that. So that was my hardest challenge for a long time. I just did random stuff. Then I beat more Seguin Circles challenges. I got 69 on the level. So it became top 3 at that point. I forgot what made it top 3. I think it was Acheron, I think. No, wait. It was AOD. That's what it was. It was AOD. So AOD and Slaughterhouse were above Seguin Circles. And then I just did random stuff again. Randomly one day in early October of 2022, I died past the doubles. I got to 75, and that was like a crushing fail because that was past all the difficulty. I had almost 100,000 attempts. It made me so sad. And then the day after, I died at 75 again. So it was even more crushing. So I was getting even more demotivated. The day after that, I die at 80. That was like literally the last like dual spam in the level. So that made me extremely sad. And then I uploaded 37 to 100, stuff like that. I kind of stopped playing. Acheron gets verified eventually. Eventually, I came back to Seguin Circles a month later, and I just kind of like locked in for a day and then beat it. That's the most attempts I've ever taken on a level ever. That was my hardest demon for a very long time. I'm kind of sad that people don't view it as hard as it was for me because it took so much effort. I feel like it would have been easier beating Slaughterhouse. That kind of gave me the skill to play like actual dog and like get through it. It doesn't have to be good to actually do it. I was still mad that Sakupin was under Slaughterhouse, so eventually I played Slaughterhouse and I got 63 in a few days. So I'm like, okay, this is definitely easier than Seguin Circles. It felt so easy to me. It was like a bit humbling when I couldn't really get back to 63, and I kind of like I didn't even really like try anymore. I just stopped playing Slaughterhouse right after getting 63. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I started playing VSC. I felt I had the skill to do it, but felt like it was the hardest level at the time. Even though I was kind of in the mindset that Acheron wasn't that hard, but now I believe it was definitely way harder than VSC. Something special about the VSC completion is that I beat it in world record attempts by like a decent amount. I beat it in less than Yasarian, Diamond, Paco, Doggy, like all those people. That felt crazy because I didn't think I could beat something in that little attempts. No one really believed me, but I beat it in like 3 weeks, and I just played it a lot every single day. I pushed through and I did it. I started trying to beat Kyouki as a hardest. I got 42% as like a pretty decent fluke, and then I never, I stopped playing it. I kind of just gave up. I think I actually stopped playing Kyouki because Avernus and Silent Clubstep. Silent Clubstep was at the time like really low. It was like below Kyouki and like Sakupin Circles and stuff. Silent Clubstep was moved above Kyouki, so Kyouki was number 3 at the time. It went from 3 to 4, and then Avernus got placed, and it was number 5. So I'm like, okay, I want it to be something hard, but now it's about to fall out the top 5. Might as well stop playing it. So that's like a bad mindset that I had with playing levels. I went to play Acheron. It was number 1. I got like 42 from 0, and then what happened after that, I wanted a top 1 demon so bad, so I'm like, okay, I'll just play Acheron, I'll beat this. And then in the middle of me playing Acheron, Zoink comes out with playing Tidal Wave, and then I'm like, god damn it, bro, I won't have any time to beat Acheron now because I'm only 42% in, and he's about to verify Tidal Wave. There's no point in playing Acheron anymore. It's about to be dethroned. I eventually beat Kyouki in secret. So I played Kyouki without anyone knowing. I beat it after like a month, and that felt like refreshing because I hadn't beaten anything since Unknown or Knights of Thunder. I haven't really done anything in a while, so beating Kyouki that fast kind of felt like a motivation boost. So after that, the day after I beat Kyouki, I beat Sonic Wave Infinity. It was a top 30. And then the day after that, I beat Aerial Gleam. Like a week or so after that, I beat Kinos. So I got a lot more list points. And then a few weeks after that, I beat Slaughterhouse. I finally beat it. That was my most recent list demon. So I finally had Fireworks, Cuban Circles, and Slaughterhouse all be in the top 3 from like 2 years ago or so. Here we are around today. I'm going for Tidal Wave again. I am still trying to beat a number 1. I have 55 to 100 times 2, 40% times 2, 13 to 43. And I'm trying to get to the beach from 0, like in like the past few days that we're here. So I'm going for this level, hoping it'll finally be the time I beat a number 1 level. And right now I have a lot of attempts. I have like almost 80,000 attempts, and
Damn.
Yeah, to put it into perspective, I beat Kyouki in 42,000 attempts. I have 40 on Tidal Wave with almost the same amount of attempts it took me to beat Firework as a jump from Arctic Lights. The level is so much harder than anything else on the list. Like, it's crazy. I don't know how I'm still playing it, but I hope one day I can do it. That's
yeah, best of luck.
Yo,
best of luck. I don't know how y'all are able to like grind out so many attempts like in such little time, because like you said, you already got 80k on Tidal Wave. I took 14 months on EXO on 60 Hz, and that took me 80k. So so
it's not 80k attempts since I started going for it again. I took 15k attempts to do like 72 to 100 and stuff like that. After that, so I started going for Tidal Wave again on May 1st exactly, and since then I've gathered 65,000 attempts. I'm hoping to beat it before the tournament actually starts, so I actually have time to like practice the levels and everything. So it's kind of a time constraint, and I'm at another position right now where all these top 1s are getting verified, so the spot of Tidal Wave being top 1 is being threatened again. But I can't drop Tidal Wave at this point. I have so many attempts, so this is probably one of my last chances to get a top 1 demon to like actually like complete my goal of this game, because that's been my goal since the very beginning. It's been taken away from me so much.
thank you so much for sharing, dude. That was like a movie.
Yeah,
like straight up.
Yeah.
Holy no, don't even apologize, bro.
that was perfect, bro.
Dude, that was
awesome.
that was awesome, bro. Thank you so much for sharing, dude. That is one of the most unique stories I think I've ever heard, bro.